What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fit Dads Live. If this is your first time
Yes,
here,
sir.
welcome. We would, before you make your decision on whether to subscribe or not, just hang around a little bit, see if you like what we got to say. This is my
Absolutely.
co-host, Michael. We
What's up,
alternate
guys?
back and forth. So every other show, which our shows are in on once a month, shows on Michael's channel. So in the description, you'll find the link to his channel as well as his Instagram. So if you decide to, that you enjoy our show, I would recommend that you also subscribe to his channel and always turn on those notifications so that you don't miss our next show. But it looks like we got two people here so far. Welcome, guys. Welcome
Welcome.
back. Today's
Absolutely.
topic, we're hoping to kind of, we're not directly seeking out any kind of conflict or anything like that, but we are going to probably trigger some people. If you're easily offended, if you let your feelings dictate your life, you're probably not going to enjoy this show.
Nope.
But that being said, I do encourage anyone and everyone to share their opinions, their thoughts in the chat. All that we ask is that you keep it respectful. You keep it, act like an adult. Because if you can't, we're gonna ban you from the channel. I'm not gonna deal with a bunch of insults and childish just nonsense going on in the chat. So that being said, Michael, where do you think we should start? We've got kind of quite a bit of ground to cover within about 60 minutes, about 58 minutes or so.
Yeah, man. I think we should just, dig back into really the big topic. I think that, it folds into what we're talking about, which is, truth in fitness, health and fitness. That's kind of what our channels collectively kind of get into. So I think as you were talking, it's kind of interesting. Big news story is that, Elon has bought Twitter. So that's the big deal. So how does that tie in to, communicating truth in health and fitness? And I think it's interesting. You sent me some tweets and some videos over this last week that are actually pretty funny. And that goes into what you said previously, where people just very well might get triggered today. So I hope you didn't come here with a bag full of feelings, because I really don't care about them. We're just trying to get in here and state facts and give good opinions, right? So I think we should just dive right into that. I think there was some issues on a Twitter exchange that actually you personally had with somebody else. I think it'd be funny to start there and kind of get into kind of what their argument was on obesity, and how they were arguing that it was, BS. We didn't have an obesity problem, and the BMI is full of crap, and blah, blah, blah. I just thought it was a pretty funny thread to read. So, I think we ought to dive right into that, man.
Very well. Yes. So, no matter which side you lie on, 10 years ago, people on the left were advocates for free speech, and now it seems like it's flip-flop. Now it seems like people want to control speech. Elon bought Twitter, in my opinion, which is backed by, not watching mainstream media and just letting the TV tell me what to think, is that he bought it in the interest of letting everyone share their opinions. Whereas before Twitter, as many people know, people were getting banned for just saying things, sharing their thoughts. They were getting banned. So he's supposed to be putting an end to that. So I became much more active on Twitter. I had not even 20 followers, and I think I've gained at least 12 or something just in this past week or so.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so for me, Twitter, it's kind of gotten fun because I'm banned off Facebook again. Big news always. So here we have. I've already got the thread pulled up. And this person's handle on Twitter is Fat Fab Feminist. And
Cool.
I believe she was commenting on her tweets were related to the abortion issue, but that we're not even going to get into that. I mean, we're just
No,
going to skip right
no.
past that. But the thing is that she says it's terrifying how many people don't know that Plan B has a weight limit of 155 pounds. That's nonsense.
Right.
I mean, no, 150. She's replying here to somebody. There's a different emergency contraceptive called Ella that works for people under 195, but nothing for people over that weight. The option is copper IUD, but people arguing it's just less effective, blah, 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 blah. And I just decided I was going to say most drugs are dosed on body weight, genius. When you're morbidly obese, your metabolism is much slower. And then I shared this fine picture right here. But let's see. I'm still kind of learning how to navigate Twitter, so you might have to bear with me a little bit. But okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna have to skip through a bunch of this. And there's Quarter Black giving me the shout out. I was like, man, because he had a show and he was Quarter Black Garrett from Louder with Crowder. He's got me at the top of his channel member list, and I was like, heck yeah, dude. And I actually mentioned bringing him on the show. On a side note,
cool.
Let's see, where did it go? I said, where is that? There it is. Okay, so I had mentioned, I said this was a good show. Nice to see myself top channel member list. I said, I know you mentioned fitness. We would love to feature you on our show, Fit Dads Live, which is bi-weekly show on Fridays, 2 p.m. Central Standard. I said, but we could adopt to your schedule. And I said, I would DM you. And he just, he replied, he liked the tweet and replied like that. So I don't know what that bodes for us in the future, but hopefully we will be able to feature him on our channel because I like Quarter Black. He's not, he's not an extreme conservative. He's not he's extreme leftist. He's more or less where I would consider myself as what used to be the center is. I mean, the center line's kind of moved, but
everything's kind of moved. Politics are a big mess. I really couldn't care less to really even talk politics because there's always going to be an opinion and they're always different. All I care about is that every one of our guests come on with good intentions and good spirit and with truth and open-mindedness. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're just trying to get the truth out in health and fitness. Politics is your own business, but I mean, clearly, politics, I guess, will play in some of our content only because everything's been politicized. But ultimately, all we're doing here is just trying to just educate on health and fitness and try to get a community built around it. So, I mean, it's just silly.
I didn't realize how many notifications I had, but I had that whole thread down here somewhere. But yes, it's like you said, everything has been politicized. It's really pathetic if you ask me. Okay, so here we have where no, don't do that. Jeez, it's doing that thing where it freaking scrolls on its own. But I had it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Okay.
We got you, man.
They said, the woman had said, let's see if it'll let me actually go to the actual thread. Yes. Okay, so she says, in context, the average woman weighs 166.2 pounds. And she said, it's not like this just impacts fat people. This impacts the average person. The average person. who has the ability to get pregnant. So I said, wrong. The average American woman weighs 170 pounds because of the raging gluttonous obesity epidemic. The average person worldwide weighs only 136 pounds. Put that into context with her stat, which she wasn't far off. The average American woman weighs roughly 170 pounds.
Okay.
But that is only because the average is so outlandishly skewed by the morbidly obese. And we'll get into that. I've got excerpts out of the A&P book that we used in our last show that talk about how in the United States, morbid obesity is a raging epidemic and it is only getting worse. So I pointed out the average person worldwide only weighs 136 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that is adult persons. That's not accounting for children.
Sure.
And I said, you're using a statistic that accounts for roughly 170 million. And I said that in, estimation, half of the U.S. population being women, But I do believe that there's slightly more women than there are men. But regardless, I said mine accounts for over 7 billion and almost 8 billion. And then I showed, my source, which is from livescience.com.
Yeah.
And so then we got to go on this person here. I would like to point out that weighing 170 pounds does not make you gluttonous. Can anybody tell me where I said 170 pounds was gluttonous?
No, none whatsoever.
I said the average American woman weighs 170 pounds because of the raging gluttonous obesity epidemic.
Well, sure, but that's a common tactic for anybody who's arguing without any sort of fact behind it at all. They'll put words in your mouth and then twist them, and then what that does is get you off track of your previous point, which that's what they want to do. That's what they need to do because they have no argument for facts. So it's weak.
Very weak. So, and I, it didn't work.
Blackbeard's got some good comments over here too, man.
I've only been able to view, kind of the Twitter, what we're looking at. Huge difference with the U.S. and other countries. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that, Blackbeard, for sure.
Oh, yeah, we won't get into that.
Yeah, we're just getting started. So I said, I would also like to point out that 170 pounds could indeed be considered gluttonous and or obese, depending on the height and body fat percentage. I said, your response not only exposes your lack of reading comprehension skills, but also your lack of knowledge of how averages work. And then I gave him a little, let's see, what was this picture?
This was a little lesson on averages, was it?
I believe so. It was something to do with that. Man, is it? There we go. But now I need to scroll. Damn it. Don't do that. Just scroll. Okay. Sorry. Like I said, guys, I'm still learning how to navigate Twitter here, but so this was a lesson on BMI. So he had, I gave him, an example. 5 foot, 170 pounds. BMI 33.2. Weight is in the obese category. So I said, that was my example for what I'd said to him.
Right.
So then we go on to, okay, here it is. And then we move on where he says, the BMI is actual shit. You know that? Right? It doesn't take into account muscle versus fat percent. I just said dependent on height and body fat percentage. This dude is just making a fool out of himself. The doesn't take into account muscle versus fat percentage. Bodybuilders would be categorized as obese, but they're all muscles. I said, okay, and I'm also supposedly obese according to BMI at 6'3", 200 pounds, 14% body fat. I said, you're miles away from my point. Obesity and morbidly, or it should say morbid obesity, but we don't have an edit feature on Twitter yet, wildly skew the average for women's weight in America. Not only that, but BMI tends to be more accurate in women than men.
You know what you should have done? You should have linked our last show because we gave a pretty good clinic on BMI and how that's calculated. Anyway, this is silly. I mean, these arguments are so.
And this is only one of them. This guy, I mean, I don't even know if it's a dude. I think it is a chick, actually. She says yes because people. She's saying yes, and I'm assuming she's saying like yes, it is wrong or something, because she says yes because people are labeled as morbidly obese when they aren't, and it isn't more accurate from women or for women. Any actual studies to prove your final point there? And I just kind of was like scoffed, and I was like, you need a study to help you understand that women naturally carry more body fat than men, therefore BMI would obviously be more accurate for women than men? I said, you like to use rare case examples to back up your narrative, a common tactic when the facts don't favor your argument.
Yes.
So
100%.
They didn't have anything to say after that, I believe, because it's not showing any replies. So
yeah, well, I mean,
call it a win, call it a, they got triggered and didn't want to talk to me anymore.
It's not a win or a loss. The thing is you cannot argue logic with the illogical. So the thing is in these exchanges, everybody loses, but all you can hope for is that maybe a few people have read your posts that maybe weren't part of it and kind of, I don't know, took something from it. But Blackbeard has a good point here as well. The thing is again, I wish you would have maybe linked our last stream, because that would have been beautiful to how we went over BMI. But Blackbeard says right here, he said, I personally can't stand the BMI chart. To me, it's more important to gauge your level of health rather than what a chart says, and which Chris, we agree with. We went over that BMI and we know that there's flaws in it, but we also know that it is used in the medical field for certain certain situations. So we have to understand it and know that how it's effectively used. And we got to also understand that the chart may be inaccurate. We all know that it's inaccurate, but and it's a huge but. I'm talking about morbid obesity. But you're not going to be labeled morbidly obese and by a chart and actually be a healthy weight. It's not that freaking far off, people. Don't get your mind all twisted. You're so full of shit you cannot even see in front of you, because the chart is skewed, but it's not so skewed that you're going to land in the morbid obese category when you're actually a healthy weight. It doesn't work like that. You and I calculated our BMI in our last stream, and we both landed in the overweight category, in the very bottom part of the overweight category. That's what we mean by the information is skewed. We are a healthy weight, or we're healthy, period, right? And that's to go to Blackbeard's point, saying that he wants his health measured by a professional, not by a chart. So there's just so many reasons why their arguments are so full of shit. I can't even handle them, man. I mean, they're so weak and they're so based on feelings and has nothing to do with facts.
See, it's funny because I remembered I did send them 2 responses because they said that. And then, I pointed out, I was like, you need a study. And you see, I'm getting a couple likes, so people are reading it. But sure. I also said, because they said people are being labeled as morbidly obese when they are not. And I said, wrong. People are being labeled obese when they are not. I said, morbid obesity is a diagnosis from a doctor indicating that the obesity has become so overwhelming that it is likely to cause fatal complications. I said, does that hurt your feelings? Do you need a definition of the word morbid? and they never responded. You
Yeah,
know, so I
I
mean,
got nothing to say. They
they,
never
they
had anything to say.
yeah, it was just empty words, and they're just trying to like back up this, you know, what do you want to call them? Fat pride activist? I don't know. There is absolutely nothing wrong with loving your body by any means, but you're not going to get on here and what drives me up the wall, and it's related to our last show, is that how many kids are on Twitter reading
Well,
this
that's the
garbage
problem.
right here?
That's the problem. And so this has got to stop, man. And that's why we're doing this show. You know, it's ridiculous here. And so I'm gonna caveat to what you just said. I'm gonna add on to it, right? And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with loving yourself, but there is something wrong with loving an unhealthy body. And I know that's obviously what you meant. I mean, I know that we're on the same page, but there is nothing wrong at all, people, with loving yourself. That's who you got to love first before anybody else, whether you married or anything. You got to love yourself. But you are really screwed if you actually love an unhealthy body, if that body is yours. That's a and you can delude yourself all you want to. Go ahead and do it. You know, delude yourself. But eventually, you're going to be in such piss poor health, and you're going to be so deluded, you're going to blame it on everything else. Let's be honest. You're never going to take responsibility. These are symptoms of a broken society that we have allowed our society to degrade to this level, because what we've done is we've squashed dissenting opinions, and we've censored everybody. And so the only thing that's out there is just, oh, love yourself, healthy at any size, and fat and fabulous feminist. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit about your femininity or whatever, but that's your label. You are defining yourself. You are defined by being a feminist. You are defined by being fat. Is that really like that's all you are? A fat feminist? You're so shallow. You think you're deep, but you're so disgustingly shallow. It's stupid. I mean, I don't walk around saying I don't know, fit, straight white male. That's me. I'm a fit, straight white male. No, because I'm so much more than that. I'm way more than that. Before I'm ever a fit person, before I'm ever a straight person, I'm way more than that. It does not define me. But these stupid freaking people, man. I mean, they define themselves by their sexuality. They define themselves about how fat they are, and they're proud of it. It's the stupidest shit I ever heard of, man. I mean, this has got to stop. It's so stupid. And you're right. You know, you got these, and they're on social media, which anymore that tends to be where everybody and anybody gets all of their news and information. So that's why it's so destructive to our society. They're on social media with our kids who are growing up and seeing this. And I tell my kids personally, myself, I tell them all the time, guys, you don't get no social media. Social media, you ain't get no damn social media. You can't handle it. And the reason why I know you can't handle it as a child is because adults can't freaking handle it, man. We're too stupid to understand how to navigate it and how to weed through the bullshit. We can actually be fooled. So why do we think our kids are okay to get on there? You know, I mean, this is just a massive problem. Social media and technology has freaking ruined us, man. On top of censorship, which has, you know, made us stupid and believe stupid shit like fat is awesome, because it's not. Damn, you better shut me up, man. I'm gonna keep going and get you banned off of YouTube, man.
I doubt you'll get me banned. The thing is, social media, it has its perks, but it's got so many negatives, cons. It's got its pros, but it's got so many cons. The
Yeah,
biggest one
absolutely.
I've found is that social media has given these, whether it's extremist, whether it's healthy at every weight activist, whatever, it's given them an echo chamber and a platform to invite the people who are lost. They don't, they're kind of lost in life. They're looking for someone to lead them. And then these people prey on them and then they bring them into their little echo chambers. And then that's how we've gotten to where we are, is they just keep breeding these nonsense, this critical race theory, this not just complete bullcrap, man. And they're so lost. They have such a lack of ability to think, to use critical thinking, that they believe everything they're told. They don't give it a second thought. They don't look into anything they see. And that's what drives me so crazy about people calling me, oh, you're a racist, you're a Trumper, you're this and that. Because I don't believe mainstream media that automatic. You see me wearing a MAGA hat, you see me flying a damn Trump flag. I don't like any of these politicians. Not that Trump was a politician until he became president, but that's a side tangent. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It gives all these people a place to breed these ridiculous ideas. And then they get so passionate about it that anybody that disagrees with them is the enemy. Rather than having our country was founded on debate. The ability for two people of opposing perspectives to sit down, explain their position, and the other person say, that's interesting. Can you elaborate on why you feel that way? And have a respectful discussion. That's gone. It's now
gone.
If you don't agree with me, you're the enemy.
Yeah.
If you think that morbid obesity is unhealthy, you're fat phobic. What? It's just beyond ridiculous. But what you mentioned earlier, and I also brought it up, is right here. There was a tweet, and it said Elon Musk could solve world hunger and people would still be mad that he didn't cure cancer first. And
it's so true.
Wait, where did it go? No. Okay, here it is. And then here's this guy. And he very nearly got ratioed, like really badly. Like he was so close. He had a few, because Twitter is still, despite all the people saying they were leaving Twitter if Elon bought Twitter, it's still just flooded with all these.
Nobody's leaving Twitter, man. Nobody's leaving. Yeah, it's the same people who were going to move to Canada when Trump was elected.
Yeah, that's the exact same thing. And it said, and this guy responded, if Elon completed the plan that the UN gave him to solve world hunger, i.e., donate $6 billion and the UN, and then the UN would distribute that money out, he'd be praised. But he didn't. He said, give me a plan. He got one, and he didn't donate the money. Instead, he bought Twitter. He could give them, he's got plenty of money. Deep Lake 437, you fucking nutsack. But anyway, I responded. I said, in third world countries, it would be seized by raiders with weapons, and the weak would be right back where they started. I said, here in America, the addicts would trade theirs for drugs just like they do with their food stamps now. I said, you can't just throw money at an issue. He wasn't provided a plan, He said, he even pointed out, he said that it would be rationed out. Oh, we trust the UN to ration out $6 billion. What about that $2 trillion that dipshit Biden printed off last year? Huh? Is it? Yeah, it was last year. He couldn't take like 0.6% of that and donate it to quote unquote end world hunger? No. But they're mad at Elon Musk, a single individual, rather than they can never accept responsibility. Never. They've always got to point the finger at somebody else.
Always.
But I'm trying to find this other response because he pointed out this guy He says, "Well, I see we just spent $13 billion. That's okay, yeah. I was gonna say we sent 13 billion to Ukraine, and now they want to send 33 billion more. Maybe we could have just done it ourselves." I better give that guy a like, because yeah, I agree. But yeah, Musk could serve. And then they've got people slandering him, and we're kind of off topic here, but it doesn't really branch too far off topic because why do you think the average weight, and that's an actual statistic that I looked up, the average weight worldwide for adult people is 136 pounds?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? That's tiny. I'm also a lot taller than the average person or the average male or average person, but
yeah,
even when I was drugged out and dried up, I was only down to 154. So 136 pounds is, and you know what I think it is? It's India is one of the countries with the largest populations.
yeah,
They also happen to have millions of people enslaved. They're actually the at the top of the list uh, of currently enslaved humans. India, and right number two is China. I expected China to be number one.
I'm sure they are, but the data is not there. But I digress.
Right? Yeah,
Uh,
and it's but so let's see. I just typed in average weight worldwide, and but I've also, let me see, trying to catch up with Blackbeard here. Why
Blackbeard's
do
killing it in
we,
the comments,
as a
man.
society, need some rich persons to solve the problem? How about takers? See, that's the thing. Is all these blue checks on Twitter that are ranting day and night about how everybody else needs to solve it, and they'll
Right,
claim. Just take
right.
Amber Heard for example. She said she was going to donate all this money to Children's Hospital. All the people talking about it, they're not doing it. It doesn't take much. I mean, whenever donations are made, it's public information. You can access that information. We can look it up right now. All these blue check marks, they don't donate half. They don't donate 1% of what they claim to. The people that claim to be doing the most are doing the least, and the people who don't even talk about it are the ones who are doing the most. If you look up the data, it's Christian conservatives that actually donate the most. Our beloved POTUS right now, he has donated, I believe, over the past decade, I think it was maybe the equivalent of $9,000 per year. $9,000 per year. Go
He
check
didn't
out
do it
his
on
net
purpose.
worth. And
He didn't do it on purpose.
well, or he was forced to, or somebody did it on his behalf because he has no cognitive function. And but yeah, it's mostly Christian conservatives, and then you've got people who donate anonymously, and I guarantee you they're none of these blue check marks on Twitter either.
Right.
But back to the topic, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
to get back on topic. So we've got, dude, I want to switch what I'm.
By the
I
way,
guess
I'm having a good time on this show today, man. This is a hot topic, and I've always been just heated about it. I told you I was gonna go off today, man. This stuff
yeah,
annoys
I'm
the
not
shit out of
scared
me.
of them, man. I mean, what's the worst they can do? All right, so we got average weight worldwide, and this isn't this. I use Yahoo because Google would have you believe apparently that men can get pregnant. So I've been using Yahoo. So we got the average weight in Africa is 133 pounds. Asia, 126. They're short. Most of them are very short. Europe is 155 pounds. This isn't women or men. This is the average overall. How did I get that? Maybe I typed in body weight. It's still giving me
You're getting your averages.
in the US, the average woman weight. Yeah, I saw that one. Okay. Human body weight, divine formula. World average 61.997 kilos, which is 136.68. And that's Wikipedia, though. I don't trust Wikipedia. Regardless, I'm sure height and weight, height and what resources are available has a lot to do with it. I'm sure if they're accounting all these people that are enslaved, that's probably got a lot to do with it. And then third world countries where, like I said, resources are, I actually have a subscriber. I don't know. He's blown up. Like, he's got his own channel. He's blown up doing all these kinds of reviews. Like, when he first started, he had less subscribers than me. I think I had 90 at the time, and he's about to hit 5,000 subscribers. But regardless, he lives somewhere in Africa, where it's not a wealthy community, if you know what I'm saying.
No.
And I was talking to him about that, and he was, because I was doing a video concerning diet and blah, and he was kind of interested in how to build some muscle, and I was kind of discussing with him. I think we were talking through a chat on maybe Instagram or Twitter, but he was asking me, what to eat, and I was like, telling him some things. He was like, we don't really have that available here. I was like, well, tell me what's available. And it was like rice and, not anything. See, it bugs the living shit out of me when these blue checks talk about privilege. To be born an American is privileged. It's not
100%.
white privilege.
No.
It's not. It doesn't matter what race is, who you decide to take to bed, what you decide to do to your body. None of that matters. If you're a U.S. citizen, you are privileged. That's why we have people coming over on rafts from Cuba just to get here.
Well, let's just say this shit. Our poor people are fat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it right there. Period at the end of that sentence. Our poor people are fat. Go look at the rest of the world who's actually poor. See if they're fat walking around. Fucking bullshit.
Yep. Now, I tried to bring this up earlier, but it started to freeze on me. But I got some excerpts out of the AMP book, and hopefully it's going to allow me to share them. Some of them we used in the last show, but I got a couple new ones. And yes, and that person, woman, what, I don't even know if it was a chick or a dude. I couldn't tell. But they acted like I didn't know that BMI was garbage. It's used by doctors to get a rough estimate. If you're a new patient and you go in, they're going to just to get some idea, that gives them a rough estimate. And it is more accurate in women because women naturally have more body fat. They naturally carry more body fat. Their healthy body weight or their healthy body fat percentage is 10, almost 15% higher than it is for men. And that's why I say that on average, the BMI chart is going to be more accurate when it comes to women. So, I wanted to look at the one that was discussing. Don't give me that. Wow. You're going to do it on all of them? File system error, it's telling me. If it ain't one thing, it's another, man. Jeez.
Always, man.
All right, I closed out. I'm going to try to do it again because last time it didn't give. I mean, it let me share them finally last time, and I used the same editor, so I don't understand why it wouldn't let me use them this time. But yeah, I mean, and back to what I was saying, you know, we're not trying to like trigger anybody. If you're getting triggered, if you're grown, your triggers are your own issue. It's not on other people.
No.
And that was the other thing, you know, the Twitter sphere blowing up about the Kardashian chick losing 13 pounds in 3 weeks or something like that to fit into the Marilyn Monroe dress that she bought.
Right.
And it's just, why? These people have no lives. They want a handout. What was it? One of the tweets, it would take me forever to find it now, but it blew up. It's like my most liked and retweeted tweet that I've made was a response to this person saying, raise your hand if you think that the wealthy ought to give all their money to all the unwealthy, basically. Level the playing field. And I said, or they said the people, they said something about them inherited their wealth, you know. Elon Musk, he inherited this wealth, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
And I said, nobody owes you a damn thing. I said, just because the only thing that you appear to have inherited is a lack of ambition does not mean the rest of the world has to pay for it. I said, if you want more, go earn more. Otherwise, get in line with the rest of the beggars.
You know what? Here's the thing, man. And I know we're slightly off topic, but man, I'm loving this. It's fun. It's fun. So here's the thing. These people are so fucking dense that they actually think that if we distributed all the wealth like that, let's just play that game. Let's play that stupid ass game. Well, we'll go ahead and all the wealthy people are going to distribute their wealth out and everybody gets, $1 million or whatever the hell they're claiming that they want or need. What will happen is within a few years, all the stupid asses will be broke again, and all the people who are rich will be rich again, because that's the natural way of things, you dumb shits. We can't all be rich. We can't all own businesses. We can't all be CEOs. There has to be the workers. There has to be the guy in the fields that's picking the green beans and the peaches. That guy is necessary. It's a necessity of life. You wouldn't have that shit in the grocery store without the man out there working his ass off for his family minimum wage. You don't have that shit. He can't also be CEO. It's just not the way shit works. It's okay. The thing is, these people are just so unhappy with their lives because of all of their own piss poor choices. So they have to blame it on somebody. It's a complete lack of responsibility, a total and complete lack of responsibility. And that goes right back into our subject of fat ass people walking around crying about it. Well, actually, they're not crying about it. They're trying to celebrate it. But in private, they're crying about it because they're pissed when you say something against them. That's when you know they got a little button. That means, oh, that's a tender spot, because you actually know you're full of shit. You're not actually happy with how you are, being totally unfit, fat and unhealthy and morbidly obese. You're full of shit, but you have no personal responsibility.
Yep,
now
you got me going, right. Man. They well, and we talked about this in our last show, responsibility. I said my mom raised me to take responsibility for everything, no matter what situation I find myself in. I put myself in that situation somehow. I
Sure.
put myself around a certain person that I shouldn't have been around. If you, and I, obviously you get struck by lightning unless you're outside standing on tip of the mountain holding a fucking a metal rod. You can't really blame yourself, right? But
Right.
it's the moral of that idea that so many of these people lack, and I appreciate every day that my mom raised me with that mentality, because and as a younger person, as a younger teen, I would do that shit. I was always trying to blame it on other people.
Yeah.
But, now it's more like, if you accept responsibility for yourself, then you take control away from other people over your life. You have control over what happens to you. You have control over your body weight. You have control over your muscle mass. You don't say, "Oh, I'm fat because it's too expensive to eat healthy." Bullshit. I can give you 3 John Meadows videos right now you can go watch to either lose weight, bulk, build muscle, whatever you want to do on a $20 budget. $20. Well, it used to be 20. It's probably 35 now, thanks to the rapid inflation. But it's the same thing,
Right.
They choose to go spend their money on fast food. And here, this will be the last one. I wasn't able to bring up the studies. The computer, Dell's being a dick right now. Basically, it won't let me share them. It won't
Damn it,
even let
Dell.
me open them, which is really weird. Because I was wanting to at least talk about them, but basically, and this book was released in 2020, so it's only gotten worse since then. The pandemic and all that, just people being locked up in their houses, just eating and not being active. It's only gotten worse. So, and even then it was 33%, I believe, were, just let me get the book since the computer's going to be let me get the book.
Might as well just pull the book out. See, books are still necessary.
I want to get the numbers
books are
right,
still
but
necessary.
I'm also going to go ahead and share this. Let's see what this beautiful fat activist here has to say. I haven't responded to any of her tweets, but let's just take a gander.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she's also supposed to be some music, whatever. Okay, yeah, no, I'd rather not follow her. Thanks, Twitter.
Man, here, I'm gonna say something right quick where you're pulling that up. I'm so sick and freaking tired of this bullshit that we think that she calls herself an activist. She thinks she's actually doing something. What the hell kind of time do we live in that we think that typing words on a computer screen is saving the freaking world? Are you kidding me? I mean, we are so self-absorbed and so deluded and so self-important that we think a tweet makes us a freaking hero. You have to be outside your freaking mind. I tell you, I'm just so many F-bombs I want to drop now. I'm trying not to get you canceled. But listen, we got a man in our chat right now who actually put his ass on the line and fought. That's a hero, right? These stupid shits on Twitter don't do shit but gripe, and then they get everybody stirred up, and they get that dopamine rush when everybody likes their retweet and like. Oh my God, she's so beautiful and fat and gorgeous. Fucking shut up, dude. You're nothing. Right. You're nobody. You're nobody. If you want to go be somebody, go out and do something. Actively do something. Don't call yourself an activist and all you do is tweet. You're so full of shit. You're so self-absorbed. You're so deluded. You're nobody. You're no more than the homeless man on the street. You're just tweeting. It ain't worth shit. I shut down a server and your whole activist life goes away. That means you didn't do shit. But Blackbeard, he went and served his country. You can't take that away. What he did is actually real. This shit is bullshit. It's all digital. I'll shut down a server and your whole life goes away. Damn.
What is the other one? But see, all of her tweets seem to just revolve around her music.
Yeah.
But what's the other one's name? The one who says she's anorexic. She's a recovering from anorexia. What's her name?
She's a redhead.
I can't remember her name. Damn it.
Crap. Anybody?
Videos on her all the time.
And that you've got Lizzo in my head, and it's not Lizzo. It's
No, it's gosh. Now I'm gonna have to do a search.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look her up, dude.
Yeah, I know she's gonna have some tweets that are just way out there.
Oh, they're gonna be beautiful. They're gonna be beautiful. You're gonna get this start up again. You know, this lady is like massively morbidly obese, and she's, oh my God, she has the audacity, the utter gall to call herself anorexic when that's a real diagnosis, and that's an extremely real struggle for those who struggle with that. That's an eating disorder. That's not their choice in a sense.
And it's a slap in the face to all of them.
Huge.
She does that.
It's a joke. Well, what it does is it turns truth upside down. That's what's the problem with our damn world. So then it's all so twisted and convoluted. You're like, okay, this fat bitch is an anorexic. I guess that's the new truth. Okay, well, I guess the sky is green. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you're telling me not to believe what my eyes see. So when it gets that stupid, we're lost, man.
Tess Holliday.
There you go.
That's the name.
Man, I'm gonna get canceled.
Dude, is she not on here? No way. No way. She's on Twitter. And it's spelled okay, so Tess Holliday. Okay. Is this it? What? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share this because this is just ridiculous. I'm still trying to find her actual page. Okay. So this person said, Tess Holliday has acknowledged a piece of my existence.
Oh, okay.
And this person, oh, I love her. But I still where is her? All right, here we go. If we go to All Black Lives Matter. She's a white person. Oh my God, dude. She's ginger as hell. I'm gonna get pissed. And
dude, I'm already there. You got me. I've said too much now.
She only has 90.7 thousand followers.
Maybe she's new to Twitter. I don't know. Who knows?
To everyone that keeps saying, you're looking healthy lately or you are losing weight, keep it up. Don't comment on my weight or she's got a period after every word. Or perceived health. Keep it to yourself, thanks. And she's got 10.9 thousand likes, 1,148 retweets.
You see the stupidity here. She's on a public forum, and she's telling us, all of us, we can't comment and give opinions to her, but we're supposed to sit back and listen to her stupid shit. There's nothing but opinions. The absurdity of that, it just baffles me.
You see my response?
Yeah.
So what does your doctor say?
Oh my God.
Oh geez, man.
You got me in trouble.
She's always got these going. Shit. Oh my God. Here we go. Yes. Yes.
How is it affecting your day to day?
Can y'all
both
hear it?
professionally and
Oh, yeah.
personally? Because you're dealing with this. It's not a secret. They notice it, but it's not diagnosed. And the problem is there, but it's not. It's not been named.
It was extremely hard, but I had normalized it so much. You know, like you said earlier, when you have so many people saying things to you online, I'm tough as nails, but it gets to you, and you kind of it's. I would be lying if I said that it didn't affect me. And so when I hear people saying all you do is eat, it's like you almost believe it, even though I know I'm not.
What kind of nails?
It was extremely isolating.
Your goddamn 6-inch fingernails?
Lonely. And I will say that getting a diagnosis does feel wonderful, but it is extremely lonely. It's sometimes I really fight with the shame of it, which I think is the hardest part.
But how are you dealing with regaining your voice, your message, and the intention of the message that you wanted on Instagram, which is, this is my journey, and I know I'm not alone. How are you resetting this for you and to help other people who want to hear it?
I just take it day by day. Like today, I tried to feed myself, didn't do that great. And like one of your guests said earlier, I just try to be gentle with myself. I try to remind myself that how I'm feeling, if I'm having these bad feelings, is temporary. And I also take,
Oh, you couldn't come up with any more lies? Anyway, okay, so I found it. I found the excerpt in the book because we're about to have to wrap up. And like I said, guys, if you guys enjoyed the show, if you're watching on playback, I plan to go through and put chapters in, all that good stuff. Please leave us a like. Go subscribe to Michael's channel so you don't miss our next show, which will be 2 weeks from today. Same time as always. Go follow me on Instagram. Go follow Michael on Instagram. You can go follow me on Twitter as well. All those links are in the description below. Michael's links, the links to his channel and his Instagram are kind of at the very, not at the very top, but like below the description of today's show. Right after that is his. My links to my Instagram and Twitter are at the bottom. So anyway, but I got the numbers. So the prevalence of adults who are overweight and obese in the United States is alarming. According to the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, approximately 34% are overweight, 33.8% obese. And that means they have a BMI of, 30 or greater.
Right.
5.7% of Americans are morbidly obese. 5.7%. Let's see just how much that is. So we got
5.7. Man, I've seen more than 5.7% at the Walmart.
Are morbidly obese.
Gotcha. I mean,
5.7%.
I'm impressed.
The population of the U.S. is 326.7 million. So 5.7% of 326. 700,000. I'm trying to count the damn zeros. Damn it. 1, 2,
Gotta be
3,
smarter
4,
than the calculator.
5. Okay. I believe that's correct. Seriously? Yeah, I don't have my calculator handy because I'm using my phone as the damn. Just type in 5.7% of 30. It's going to be. I'm just going to see if they got a damn calculator that's on here. All right, so here we go. And then we're gonna have to wrap up. We only got a few minutes left. Actually, we're kind of already past, but I just want to give you guys some perspective. So, and I'm trying to be quick about it. I know Michael's got to go. No, not that.
So that looks like 18,582,000.
18,582,000 people.
Yeah.
Or morbidly obese. That means their BMI is over 40%. And it goes on to say, even more alarming is the trend that shows a relatively rapid increase in obesity rates. In 1960, only 13.4% of people were overweight or obese, whereas it's 34% now. Or as of, I'm assuming, probably 3 years ago. So, and then it goes on to say that similarly alarming is the obesity rate of 16.9% in children ages 2 to 19 years old. This is an increase from only 5% in 1971. And that's straight from the horse's mouth. It's a very large book, but straight from the horse's mouth. And that's modern. This was as of 2020. I mean, this is modern curriculum. That's what Brittany just actually took her final on Monday for AMP2. So she's done with AMP. Last week she had to dissect a pig. She hated it, but anyway, that is disturbing to me. 16.9% of kids are obese now. And then you got these freaks who want to normalize it. They want to say that you're fat phobic if you disagree, that, or if you simply point out, they're calling the doctors fat phobic for simply pointing out that it's unhealthy to be obese.
It all comes down to lack of responsibility. That's it. Lack of responsibility. They don't want to take any responsibility for any of their actions, including their own health. That's it.
And they go on about mental health. Of course, you should be confident. I'm not saying you shouldn't be confident. You shouldn't be, but you should also strive to live. If you're not wanting to live the longest and healthiest and most active, not active in the sense, but just, living life to the fullest potential, then you lack, your mental health is poor. I mean, you cannot be confident and happy and still eating yourself into an early grave. Because if you're confident and happy with life, then you would want your life to live as long as you would want to live as long as possible, it seems to me. And if you have kids, even more so. But to me, these people saying that I can be healthy at any weight is the exact same thing as me saying, oh, I can take as many hydros as I want and I'll be healthy. I can smoke all the heroin off of fucking aluminum foil I want and I'll be healthy.
Yeah.
There's no difference. No difference at all.
Thing is, these aren't the words of a happy and confident person. When they're this angry and this wound, they're wound so tight that one little comment will blow their top. They're not happy and confident. They're broken. And they don't want to see that. They won't see that. No matter how much I say it or you say it or the next guy says it, they don't believe you. They call you the bigot, but they're broken. And it's a problem. It's a major, major, major societal problem now. That the problem is the social media has brought all of our private life way out into the open, and it's ugly. It used to be this was my little shit in my little square. Now it's my shit, but I'm forcing it on y'all square, and if you don't like it, you're a bigot. And then we all hate each other because we're like, hey, I'm not a bigot. You're the bigot. You're the jerk. You're the asshole. Whatever. Shut up and go home. Why don't you get the hell off of Twitter?
What was that Dave Chappelle quote? He said, you know, you can be whoever you want to be, but to what extent do I have to, you know, take part in it or whatever?
Yeah.
He said something along those lines. He said, I'm cool with font. Oh, damn it. Well, I'll have to catch up on it later. It was something along the lines of to participate. I believe that's what he said.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was man, I hate search engines these days. They're flooded with so much BS.
Yeah.
But the bottom line here is, as I was kind of saying earlier, the people on Twitter, they create their own echo chambers. Like Tess Holliday, she advocates for being healthy at every weight. And, you know, she does work out sometimes, or she moves her body, and that's great. You know, that's great. But whenever she's nom, 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 nom. Oh yeah, and I wanted to mention Blackbeard. Every slice of pizza brings me one happy step closer to the grave. That's true for people who live sedentary lifestyles, but also, I mean, for people that stay active and only eat pizza on occasion, you know, that's not really true. You can outwork a few slices of pizza if you're eating pizza in moderation. And you can also cook homemade pizza that is somewhat healthy, depending on the ingredients that you put on it. So
I want to also add before we close out the show, though, Chris, is that, you know, the thing is with social media, it taps into, in an unhealthy way, it taps into just human nature. Like, we all want acceptance, and that's not your problem. I'm not saying that you have a problem because you want to be accepted. We all want to be accepted, I guess, for who we are, and the problem comes into play whenever that acceptance turns into, you know, I don't care at all what you have to say. And as a matter of fact, I hate you for what you have to say, but I need you to love me for what I have to say. And so, and this happens all over Twitter, no matter your political affiliation, sexual orientation, color, race, whatever you want to call it. It's all just, it's devolved into a mess, and we got crap on both sides. And I know that, you know, usually everything is set into two sides, left and right. Well, I'm just going to be clear. We have left and right stupidity all over social media. You can be radicalized on both sides of the aisle. And so to close this out, I wanted to be able to say, I'm not pushing one side or the other. I couldn't give a shit less. Politics are stupid. I'm annoyed by them. I have my own personal feelings, but I don't say, hey, I'm a Republican. Hey, I'm a Democrat. I don't label myself. And it goes back to the point I made earlier in the stream. I'm way more things before I'm a dumbass Republican or a dumbass Democrat. I'm way more things. That doesn't define me. But so I want to be clear, guys. There's no doubt the things I've said on this stream will piss somebody off to the nth degree. No doubt. You will hate me, and you will know that I'm a racist. You will know that I'm a bigot. You know that I'm a fat phobic asshole. You're going to know that in your mind. That's a fact. But I can assure you, I couldn't give a shit less about politics. This is all about just trying to get healthy and fit, you know, truth about health and fitness out into the general public. And this, morbid obesity being shown in a light that it is celebrated, you and I both know it's full of shit. You're full of shit completely. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out because I know that you and I both have kind of gone off on this stream, man. And I want to be very clear. We are not, this ain't no political channel. This is a health and fitness channel. And we're just cutting through the bullshit. That's all.
Absolutely. You know, I don't identify with either side. I tend to call out more bull crap. I mean, see, there's people on both sides of the aisle that are always, you know, they act as if their chosen leader can do no wrong. And
Right.
they won't criticize where they come up short. And that's what
Mhm.
I have such a huge issue with on both sides. See, I will criticize all of them. And I will say that 99.9% of the politicians in office are corrupt to some degree. We've got a few, and most of them are local government and,
Yeah, local.
you know, maybe state government. But if I were in a position of power and, you know, some black hat comes in and says, you know, if you vote the right way on that bill, I'll fill your coffers, you know, offer you a couple $100,000 to look the other way while they do something. Because that's what happens in politics. The people in power are coerced by big pharma. They're coerced by all these companies that profit by the things that we're seeing happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even say I would turn it down. I mean, when they offer you that amount of money, when they threaten your family, if you refuse to play ball with them, I can't even say that I would turn it down, you know, that I wouldn't play ball because
Right.
first of all, power corrupts even the purest of souls. That's why we have these checks and balances. But yeah, it's just a shit show.
It is. It is,
It
man.
really is. But all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you're watching on playback, I'll hopefully have some chapters up so that y'all are able to navigate through as you choose. And anyway, we'll
Just
see
call
you
them
guys
rant
in 2
1,
weeks.
rant 2, and rant 3.
Pretty much something like that. But make sure to go subscribe to Michael's channel so y'all don't miss our next show. Turn on notifications and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys. Y'all have a good one.